are you, Jared?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing?
I am doing fine. How surprised were you by getting traded just 3 weeks into a season? That rarely happens, Jared.
Yeah, you know what? I think it was one of those situations where it was just kind of beneficial for both sides, and it allowed me to kind of go back and play my natural position, back to DN with my hand on the ground, and the Bears could get a pick, and some of them young guys could get in, and it would probably fit that system a little better. So. It was obviously difficult with family and stuff like that, but I think, everything happens for a reason. All is well, and, I wish everybody in Chicago nothing but the best. And, I can't be, happier to be here. It's such a great organization. And again, I get to put my hand back in the dirt and have a little fun.
Yeah, it's also the reason why it's rare to see trades like that happen too, Jared, is obviously involving somebody with your stature and your resume. But it's a rational thing where, John Fox and Ryan Pace would say, look, we're making you play in a style that doesn't suit your game. Carolina does. We can get a pick. You can go and play a position. It seemed like a rational, sane thing for everybody involved.
Absolutely. Again, you know what? Again, I can't. I got not one bad thing to say about those guys over there, man. I gave it the old college try as best I could, and at the end of the day, I felt it was best for me to have my hand back in the dirt, and obviously they did too. So I mean, it was a mutual kind of a deal, and both sides, worked it out, and so I didn't expect to be coming to an undefeated team. I didn't know where that was going to happen.
Right.
But I tell you what, again, nothing but respect for those guys. We all had good, honest conversations, and really helped each other out.
So you didn't have any guiding hand or your representatives into where you were going? You could have wound up anywhere, Jared?
Oh, no, as the whole thing unfolds, I won't go into all the details, but as the whole thing unfolds, you kind of, I guess when you're getting traded, you don't know where you're going to end up. It's just, that's part of the business. So, obviously it worked out well, and, calls were obviously made to 4-3 teams where they thought I could be, fit in and be productive and stuff like that. And, the good Lord bless me by coming to Carolina.
And now you're reunited with Peanut Tillman, and you've got Kuechly behind you. This is a heck of a defensive unit that you're on, Jared.
Yeah, it really is. It's fun too, and coming here with Coach McDermott and his style of defense, and even Coach Rivera, the culture he's built first off is top down. It's awesome. I mean, guys genuinely playing for each other, and everybody's highly competitive, but nobody's selfish. And then you got the talent that, like you said, Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly. Our back end with Josh Norman, Peanut. Kurt Coleman, you name it. Although I did tell Roman Harper when I first got it, I said, hey, can I get my 2009 Super Bowl ring back, please? That'd be nice.
And what did he say? What did he say to that, Jared?
Yeah, he hit me. He hit me in the ankle.
Well, it's fun. Like now that you're seeing these guys up close, is Josh Norman a defensive player of the year candidate in your mind?
I think so. The guy's explosive, and obviously, lately the last couple of games we've seen he hasn't gotten as many balls thrown his way, but when they do, he's knocking them down or picking them off. So my first game here, the dude first pass of the game is walking it into the end zone against Tampa, and then he had a couple. He'd always come up with a huge tackle or a huge batted ball or something, and he does it on the practice field, and he competes at a high level, and it's showing. So. I think we have a couple guys that are candidates for defensive player of the year. You look what KK, Kawan Short, we call him KK, is doing. And to be that productive from a traditional 3 technique is outstanding. It makes life a little easier on the edge. So, everybody's got a highly, highly competitive attitude, and everybody's competing, but everybody's competing together, for the betterment. And I think everybody gets understands, how to make plays and how to live within the scheme, and that's kind of where we're having success. Harping on the details and then going out and cutting it loose.
And what about Cam? Now that you're not having to chase him around or play him in any way, shape, or form, or play against him. Now he's your
awesome.
Now he's your teammate. What have you learned? What have you learned about Cam now that you get to see him up close?
Again, it comes down to work ethic and his attitude and what he puts forth on the field. You obviously, it seemed like I remember when Brett Favre came to Minnesota. There's the mystique about him, and I got to watch Brett work for a couple of years, and it was just so good. Tony Gonzalez same way. So when you compare, when you compete against a guy, like Cam, and you're preparing for him, like, you prepare for the run and this, but then when you get to, kind of see the behind the scenes, you understand why he's successful. I mean, the guy's diligent in his work. He's present in his job, and he goes out there and he has his own little, cool style about it. And so it keeps us, I think it helps keep me young, keeps guys laughing. And, he has his own way of leading. He's just being himself. But, like I said, you see the work he puts in, and you see the improvements, you see him, competing in practice, and it shows up in the game.
What are you seeing on film about Andrew Luck? All of us in the national media are wringing our hands over a guy that we thought might be MVP of the league, and he has only one win to his credit so far this year. What have you seen on film about Andrew Luck, Jared Allen?
I mean, to me, I always prepare for guys at the top of the game. I mean, he still gets that ball out fast. He's still, heck, I was just watching the Saints game, and they're down 27-0 at one point. They come back and score 20 unanswered, and really have a shot at the end of the game to try to do something. Again, you see the same thing. Kind of the breaks just aren't going their way right now, but guys are competing. I got to practice against them this year. Another guy that you can just see the work ethic. You can see the ball out fast. He knows where he wants to go with it. He's another guy. He's big. He's strong. When you hit him, that's not necessarily the end of the play. He knows how to escape. He knows how to get keep his eyes downfield. He's checking the ball down. Very, very talented team, and you got T.Y. Hilton over there and stuff like that. So obviously, wins in this league are winning and losing at a fine margin, and you got to prepare for them as the same team that was just in the NFC Championship game.
Let's talk your charity work here, Jared. I don't know if you're aware tonight, Arizona State against Oregon is going to be wearing throwback uniforms in honor of Pat Tillman.
Oh, love it.
And I know that you are deeply involved with veterans and wounded warriors and their work as well. Give me an update on what's going on with you, Jared.
Man, it's doing great. Our foundation, Jared Allen's Homes for Wounded Warriors, we're actually having our annual gala tomorrow. And the things have been great, man. We're just picking up more and more corporate sponsors, and we just finished another home in Arizona. We got one going in Oregon. We got a recipient in Chicago. We got applicants. I actually have an applicant we're looking at out here from North Carolina. So things are going in a positive direction. We're just trying to say thank you one wounded vet at a time. And again, what we do is we build and remodel homes and make them handicap accessible for our wounded vets coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, homesforwoundedwarriors.com is the website for people to get involved. Look, Jared, you could choose so many different charities. Why this one?
I grew up military. My grandfather was 23 years in the United States Marine Corps. My dad played football, so that's how I got the football bug. But my little brother's a Marine. My older brother's Air Guard. My uncles are all in the military. So, we came from a family that in the military, we knew those were the heroes of this country. We knew that the men and women that served this country selflessly, and that's why I get to do what I love to do. And for me, after I came home from USO tour, I just knew I had to do something to serve my country and to say thank you. And I figured the best way to serve is to serve those who serve us. And that's what we've been doing since 2009. And we're going to keep doing it until we're not needed anymore.
And I know you wear this sort of stuff figuratively on your sleeve. And there are a lot of players that are beginning to put stuff on their uniforms or attempting to or do something with the uniform code to make statements, whether it's remembering a deceased relative or what have you. And there's been a lot of to do on this subject. I'd love to know where you stand on this subject of the uniform code and a player wanting to express himself for a cause or for somebody that means so much to them.
I think, I understand the league. I understand, with sponsorships and wanting to look uniform across the board. And we got to think, you got to look a certain way. You don't want people out there looking like ragamuffins. I get that. So I think it's fine the way it is. And I think, we all have a platform. We have opportunities now. I think in news conferences they could be a little more laxed about, only wearing NFL apparel. If a guy wants to wear a shirt in a news conference or a hat to promote him, we still got to be able to promote ourselves. And, obviously this is our livelihood. And if you have a platform and it's for a good cause and it's or it's to remember somebody, I think that should be probably a little laxed. And but we are given a great platform, and what you decide to do with it, and how you decide to, like opportunities like this, being able to talk about it. So, obviously, I don't know if we need to go to the extent of changing uniforms, but they could probably be a little more lax about the interview and media stuff, before and after the games. Before
I let you go, Jared, I'd love for you to chime in on the poll question at richeisenshow.com today. My my colleague, my compadre here, Chris Law, who I believe you met on a shoot. Did you?
Yeah,
you
I
were on a
came
shoot?
out to his night ups in Arizona a few years
Yeah,
ago.
okay.
That's right. And he has admitted.
He made it home alive. That's good.
He has admitted that there's 4 movies that he has not seen. And he's admitted this over the process of weeks and months of this show where I bring up these movies and I get a blank stare back at me. Chris Brockman, would you please read the poll question to Jared Allen?
Which unseen law movie is most egregious, Jared? Is it Blazing Saddles, Princess Bride, The Running Man, or Trading Places?
He hasn't seen any of them.
0.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I mean, that's probably the. Oh goodness. I'd probably Trading Places.
Yeah.
Just because that is absolutely, Blazing Saddles could be generational. I mean, Princess Bride is an all-time classic. I think my 4-year-old daughter's even seen that.
Yeah,
man.
But I got a friend like that too, and we just basically shun him when we start talking about movies and make him feel really bad about himself personally.
I mean, I've seen a lot of classics.
Jared, he wondered if Trading Places was one of those movies where, like big, like where they trade places and bodies.
You thought it was a reality show, didn't he? You thought it was a reality show. Goodness.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know who was in it, to be honest. It was.
I mean, it's one of the most. I mean, it's a classic movie.
I
How do
know.
you not? They're some of the biggest stars.
I know. Turn those machines
Every now,
back
and,
on.
every now and again, one gets through the 5-hole on me, and
my
that
gosh.
one slipped past the goalie.
I mean, how bad do you feel about yourself when everybody's having movie trivia and you just have to sit there and pretend I mean,
They've dropped.
honestly, it's got to be hard doing you at times.
They've dropped 20 references this show that I have no idea what they're about.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, Jared, thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Talk to you later.
Great catching up with you. That's Jared Allen.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.